The purpose of this video clip is to give you an introduction to the evaluation process that we use here at UUK. It's undergone quite a number of changes over the last couple of years, one permutation to another, and I won't bore you as to what they were. What I want to let you know is what the process that is currently in place, what takes place, the tools that we use to measure the evaluation, and what data this feeds into, so on and so forth. So to start off with then, whenever a learner attends a learning event on this site, regardless who delivers it, internal or external, regardless what the content is, regardless of the length or duration, we expect them to fill in a learning event feedback form. It's a traditional type happy sheet. It asks them what did they enjoy about the event, what was good about it, and what could have made the event even better, so we can use that to develop the event and to develop the facilitator. So every single person fills one of those sheets in. Those sheets then get handed in via the facilitator to learning and development. We review that, and at that point there, those forms can then be shredded or binned. What then takes place is very much dependent on what the subject was that was being delivered for the event that we're evaluating. If the event was a statutory training event, in other words, it was something that we have to deliver, in other words, it's something that sits on their skills matrices, then at that point there, the learner has no further evaluation activity. Instead, the evaluation is actually measured against the impact that that learning has had back in the business. For example, manual handling takes place throughout the site. Everybody must undertake manual handling. The learner will go to the event, they'll fill one of these in and hand it in, and I'll work on that feedback. They'll go back to work. What we then measure is how many manual handling incidents are taking place on this site. How many people have been off injured through manual handling problems? How many people are observed undertaking correct and good and safe manual handling principles? So therefore we actually use the workplace to measure the impact of this, rather than just somebody ticking a box saying, I thought this was a good event. So it's a really forward-thinking, a really business-focused way of evaluating the impact of the learning, where it really matters back in the workplace. Now, if the event that they've attended isn't a statutory training event, so we don't have to deliver it, it's not something that sits on somebody's skills matrices, for example, perhaps a train the trainer course, perhaps a safety auditors course, perhaps the leadership programme that we're running in UUK at the moment. At that point then, a month after they've attended the event, approximately, I then send them a link to an online action planning tool that's using the SurveyMonkey tool. And that questionnaire asks them what have they learned from it, what are they going to do with it, how are they going to use it back in the workplace, what impacts and benefits have they already seen from attending that event, what barriers might there be to them implementing that learning, what challenges are they going to face, what support can the business give them to implement that learning back into the workforce, back into the workplace. So there's very much a two-pronged approach to evaluation. It starts off with everybody filling one of these in. If it's a statutory event, then the fork that we take is we measure the impact that that statutory event has had on the business. If it's more a personal development and a personal improvement fork in the road, then we actually ask people a month afterwards using an online tool to actually explain to us what have they benefited, what have they gained from it. Now, I'm not sure if you've seen the SurveyMonkey tool before. I know it's used, throughout the world. It's a very popular online survey tool. We've got a license for that here at UUK, and at the end of this video clip, in the credits, I've actually put up the URL to SurveyMonkey. In case you've not seen it before, you've not observed it before, you can obviously enter that link into your internet address bar and have a look at the tool in a bit more detail. Hopefully that's given you a little glimpse into the evaluation process, and obviously when you join us, I'll obviously be able to walk you through it in a little bit more detail.